They'll be calling you a radical, so we're going to talk about the explosion going on in Northern California. I mean, it's pretty amazing. Whole city's burning down. No one seems to be concerned. Fucking stock markets rise, all-time highs. I mean, when are you going to wake up? So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about the Obama fucking library. We're going to talk about 6 years of my cancer fight. It'll be 6 years tomorrow that I got sick right there. Light the Night is Saturday night, and you know, it'll be very emotional. It'll be exactly 6 years to the day that I was given 2 months to live. Right to the moment, that hallowed ceremony. It's at Library Square in downtown Salt Lake this year, so everybody should come participate. You know, I've dedicated my life to Carla, Marshall, Judy, you know, Nancy, everybody that was in there with me that has passed away from this evil man-made disease. You know, I made a lot of promises to myself, dedicated my life to this cause. You know, I was in there going in and out of coma, you know, 6 years ago. I don't think anybody can relate what kind of surrealism your mind goes into and what hardcore state, but I've dedicated my life to this activism, and everybody says, oh, my activism, I got burned out. What, after 2-3 years? What if you're a school teacher? You just quit after freaking, you know, either do it, make a career out of it, or fuck it, you know? So I want to talk about, first off, the Obama. Wait till you hear this one. The Fukushima cover-up goes in earnest. Future generations, all we can do is record history at this point. So, look, so the Obama library, this is unheard of. It's unprecedented, unheard of. There'll be no books in the library. Up is down, black is white. Just like he said, he was the freaking champion for the underprivileged. Like I said, up is down, black is white. Yellow is blue, fucking green is dead, fucking Jill Stein, fucking Putin, fucking red. So, why? Because the cover-up of Fukushima. History, sooner or later, when are one of you insiders? I mean, there's plenty of people that know. I mean, they emailed me in the early days. You know, there's plenty of people you know the cover-up. And none of you are going to break ranks, just like the USS Reagan case versus GE. And I want to talk a lot about this because this is University of General Electric right there. We say where I do all my campus, or all my work, you know. It's going to be a joy to watch those scumbags go down and burn in flames. Jeffrey Melting, Obama's fucking best buddy. You know, he's fled. The company's coming apart right now at the fucking seams. They report on the 20th, which will be the anniversary of Black Tuesday, the 30-year anniversary of the market meltdown. They're going to miss. They're going to slash dividend. They're going down in fucking flames. I mean, their legits, and you know, Jeffrey, I'm melting. The nuclear reactors are melting. Obama, remember, he stood on the White House lawn. I want you to know what I know. Plume, and then they were flown out to South America, Chicago Bridge, the Savannah River fairy tale in South Carolina, this whole nuclear lie, but it's too late, baby, now. You just keep doing that. I mean, Trump lives in a fairy tale fucking, I don't know where he lives, you know, but Barry Antoinette let them eat yellow cake. So, when we talk about the fires, which I call a gas called plutonium, this was hypothesized by me and others in the early days. Fukushima, the gas that's coming off, now look, it's just like right here. It's a sun. It's a sun. Livermore themselves calls it bringing star power to Earth. That's what they say. Oh, they brought star. It's a sun. Now, the sun is made up of what? All gases. It explodes. We get, you know, we get sunspots here. We get explosions and flares even all the way here, 93 million miles away. That's only 6,500 miles. Direct line. It's no coincidence that happened there. And you think this is homogeneous? It's not homogeneous. Yeah, there's heating up going all over, but I've been in the Adriatic. I've been in the Mediterranean. I've been in the Mediterranean Sea. Fuck, is there also... I'm telling you, the Pacific is so dead. The tide pools are all fucking dead first. First they came from, I mean, we go on and on and on and on. The salmon collapse on the Columbia is it's the smoking gun. I mean, they're freaking gone because the Steelhead immediately started to collapse the next year, at 2011, on record escapement. So you can go 2012, 2013. I mean, they're right now, they're borderline extinct all over now. I mean, they're going extinct. You know, so how does that prove that's Fukushima? Because the Chinook, average Chinook, go for 5. On record escapement. Remember, they had record escapement in 2008, 2009, 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14. Record escapement. That means fish that get out to the sea. So they had 1.1 million in returning in 2013, 1.2 million in 2014, 1.3 million returning in 2015. You know, just... They were expecting 1.7 million in 2016. They're expecting 2.1 based on escapement, based on NOAA's models, university's models, all of it. I mean, perfectly, but they didn't plug in Fukushima, just like you're not plugging in there. And so the 1.7 projection on this 5-year Chinook, and this is by number, not by weight. Live cam on the Bonneville's been out. Fuck, it's such a sham. I mean, this is the greatest cover-up. These are the greatest crimes in human history. San Onofre's gonna walk. The greatest crimes against humanity in human fucking history. Not even to human history, not today. This is the greatest crimes into all humans, all living things, all animals, to all the unborn, all the unhatched, all the unsprouted, for time and all eternity. These are the greatest crimes in human history, bar none. The cover-up of Fukushima is the greatest crime in human history. It could have been dealt with. I know what happened in the Situation Room. John Holdren is one of the greatest criminals that ever walked. Barry Antoinette and Obama, please allow me. Abi, you're talking maybe the greatest criminal who ever walked the face of the earth. This makes Hiroshima and Truman look like church mice. And it's going to come out. And history will. They think they've circled the wagons and they boiled you fucking frogs nicely. You're in denial. Look, 14 fires exploded simultaneously at the exact same time. Now, how is that? Somebody lit them? No, nobody lit them. I mean, it's the gas. It's the flare up the gas, which I've named Fuktonium, bringing star-powered Earth. Where did you sleep last night, Kevin? I slept in the dead fucking pines in California where the sun Fukushima. Now they're burning. Everybody says, oh, we see live pine trees that didn't burn. These fires are moving so fast. These are redwoods. Hello, these are redwoods. I mean, the young ones are 800 years old. 2, 3, 4, 5,000 years old. They can handle fire, but you can't. You know, these are burning whole cities down, nothing to see. Stock markets fucking rise, all-time highs. Pacific burns, Pacific dies, stock market fucking makes all-time highs. I mean, it's disconnected in America. It's a fairy tale land. It's insanity where you are. I mean, the information age has turned into the disinformation age. You know, 90% of stuff that's all over YouTube information is fairy tale hypothesis, baking into fucking mentally ill dogma fucking feeders. Dogma burgers left, dogma's right. Got their dogma stuck down. We got pink ones, we got psychedelic ones, we got peace sign ones, we got ones with AKs on them. We got them all, but you just follow your fucking thing and these guys just feed you. Fuck, they'll spin in like fainting goats and you believe. When it's cancer, it's going to kill you. Went off to Afghanistan to kill the Taliban. Went off to Iraq to get a big old sack for fucking digging. Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. Pat Tillman find off 9 million fucking Al-Qaeda fucking when his own man fucking executed. Jessica fucking Lynch. We can go on and on. Fukushima, nothing to see. Fuck, it's okay. We want you to know what I know as they've flown out. I mean, it's the truth right there. You don't want the truth, you can't handle the fucking truth, and even with the truth, you double down on your fucking sick, because it's mentally ill fucking degenerate America. You're sick, selfish, me fuckers. 99%. You know, our small fucking, you know, and I've learned a long time ago. With my activism and everything I've fought and done, documented, I learned a long time ago, just like fighting cancer. Oh, I'm on my fucking own. I'm on my own. I know that. The small group that supported this historic work, you know, thank you. You will live in infamy. Your names are recorded on that GoFundMe page if you want them to be. You're going to live in fucking infamy, I'm telling you. I mean, this will be recorded as the greatest PhD in human history. Me on my Nobel Prize, oh, fuck them. You know, those fucking pro-nuke fucking rats in Sweden. You know, those eugenics fucks. Fuck them. No. It's called Fuktonium. Kevin Blanch, this is what a real PhD does. Here's what a real PhD does. First, you hypothesize the fucking new knowledge. Then you do fucking at least 3.5, 4 years of fucking field work. Then you defend your work. Then the proof comes out. It's good. They're going to cover it up. They're going to cover it. It's going to create a gas called, which I've named Fuktonium. It's going to cause synergistic to convect. It's going to break the luminous chain. It's going to fucking break it. The krill's going to fucking break. The plankton's going to break. The fucking big fishy little fish in this, the fucking, it's not your pseudo de facto biology, but it is your biology. It's not your pseudo de facto theology. This is not God's will, Tim Chaldalmaeus. It's not your pseudo de facto sociology. It's the ecology, stupid. They broke the fucking chain. And this is going to break the chain. The sun fucking heat's going to break the chain. The cycle, it's going to create a gas. Fucking the storm's going to rise up. It's going to create a heat bubble over the western United States, cause drought. It's going to cause radiant heat, and it's going to start to explode. That's exactly what happened. It ignited. You know, it's a gas. You know, mixed in with everything. And I want to say this to all you geoengineering, you know, we know it's the will in the sky, and they do a lot of that. But don't shiny ball off into fucking chemtrail fucking land. And, you know, we know that's all real. But compared to Fukushima, I mean, this is fucking very, very real. The Pacific Ocean's dying right under your face. California's burning fucking down. Whole fucking cities. This is the greatest ecological catastrophe. And you're just thinking this is all coincidence? What, all the tide pools? And this is all my work. I proved that all the tide pools fucking died post. We have videos before of mine, you know. before and after, fucking, it's night and day. This is not coincidence. Longevity goes like this. You know, and I want to say this, I hope people can show up at the library. It's a how thing to my beautiful friend Marshall Jensen, to Carla, you know, Carla's husband. They call us Kevin and Carla, Kevin and Carla, Kevin and Carla. We're both from right here, you know, OS de novo, which is leukemia that presents in tumors. We're the only two simultaneously they knew of in the United States that was being treated at the same time for the same disease. Her husband's kept the thing going now for 5 years. She died in February. When I was I was so sick, the doctors let me go out of LDS, and I was at the hearing when Joni Ray and I snuck into San Albert, did all that great work, and they tried to blah, 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 blah. You know, Jan and Smokey paid for my trip then, and I got home, they tried to keep it separated, but Carla died that day. And so her husband's kept it going. He's the #1, right at the top of the fundraisers every year. She was young, beautiful, because that's what it does. Only the good die young. Only the good. I got work to do. And you people that survived these horrible, I'm officially a 1%er. I'm a 1%er. I was given 2 months to live with a disease, the survival rate's less than 1%. And I didn't have a bone marrow transplant. You know, I was too sick, you know, and Marshall Jensen, you look him up. That historic case, you want to talk about a hero. Oh my God, his wife will be there, and his child. And all these beautiful people. Judy lived right there, you know. We name off lots of them right here. We all got sick at the same time. Fukushima's right there. We came across, you know, there's the Great Salt Lake. Let's go fishing there. Just like right across from the fires where they're exploding. Draw a straight line. Fukushima, Japan. You catch my Pacific drift? Fucking breaking news, breaking news. Fish swim, jet stream moves left to right. Ocean currents left to right. Japanese current goes like this. Into the California current. I mean, it blows right there. Fuck, these gases build up. Which I've named Fuktonium. F-U. You know, you can name whatever the fuck you want. That's what it is. I mean, my hypothesis, it's going to give you leukemia, it's going to give you leukemia, that I got leukemia. Let you right in the bone marrow transplant. The whole story and the path, 800 videos fucking thing, which you think that's all that many, ain't that many. I want to have 3,300. All we can do is record history. Now, in the great library called YouTube that you've crowded, but you go into a regular library, see how many books never get pulled out of the shelf because they're shit, and you pick them up and you read them now and you laugh. What kind of fucking mentally ill freak was fucking doing that? Same thing here. You know, and that's the way they're going to look back up. And I like all the people that jumped on it, then quit, then gave up, then back. I mean, fucking pathetic. You branded yourself in fucking history. So do I. And think about the marine biologists that are paid to do this. They're mystified, they're baffled, they're puzzled, they're fucking stumped. All of them? All of them? You can read. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of these statements. On dead whales, on dead fucking mures washing up, on fucking dead tide pools, on dead starfish, on trees, over and over and over. Every time. Mystified. Well, is that even humanly possible, statistically possible? Yeah. If they're not plugging in one fucking thing, of course they know which fucking side of their fucking karma is fucking buttered on. And karma's going to kill them all. Karma's very real. And I'll tell you what, only the good die young. And these fuckers aren't young. You know, they're weakling scumbags, but when they die, their souls are going to be sucked into a black hole for time and all eternity. They're fucking scumbags. And the American populace should be ashamed of themselves. Fucking American fucking media, alternative media should be ashamed of themselves. I mean, I always go back to Alex Jones. He did all that good work. Now look at him. You know, I mailed him a fucking set of fucking Donald Trump knee pads. You really fucking, you know, the Trumpettes are as bad as the Obamacans. Fucking, I mean, they just fucking divide up, slurp up that fucking Kool-Aid. Reality means nothing. Rest in peace, reality. So, no books in the Obama library. Oh my God, this place gets more insane by the day. You seen the fucking debt lately? And I will say this. They report the 20th will be the 40th anniversary of Ronnie Van Zant's fucking death. And the fucking cultural tailspin ever since. Fucking needle and spoon. You took a trip to the fucking moon. You know, it's unbelievable. Fukushima kills Pacific Ocean, dies. Pacific burns. Stock markets rise. All-time highs. Stan Tuna, recording history. One video at a fucking time. Great Salt Lake going dry. We had a big fire right over there. It's going to happen right here. It'll explode. And I'll come up and stand here and do a video after it explodes and burns through here and say, oh, I told you. And it's going to happen. It's only a matter of time, this thing's, because this plutonium gas is everywhere. Stay tuned.